So hi everyone, it's me, I'm Tokyo here, back with another tutorial. So today I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to make the tentacle or something like that on Tokyo Ghoul. I'm using it on my little tutorials. That is not an anime sub edit, by the way. So yeah, it's looking pretty simple. More than the guy think that I'm using a PNG or using a shape layer. We doing some kind of fractal noise on it, and then we're gonna add puppet pin 2 on that. But today I'm gonna do something much more simple than that, but it's not gonna be looking way too realistic, but it's still gonna be looking good, by the way. So today I'm gonna be using particular for these effects. So now first of all, you need to prepare a scene that's looking good. You're just gonna need a clip. We don't need anything else on the tutorial. Now we're gonna go ahead and create a new composition. Here I'm gonna name this one min, and the size gonna be 1920 by 1080 with a frame rate of 30 and 3 seconds. I get 3 seconds is pretty long. And for the motion blur, here is my setting. When you download, you're gonna click on OK, and we're gonna select a good scene to do this kind of effect thing. So now we're gonna try to see that. So yeah, I'm gonna be quickly searching for this. So here is the thing that we're gonna be. So now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna be click on this button right over there. It's gonna be set the in boy, and yeah, you can set the out boy as well. You can do something like this. It's not really necessary. So when you click on that, we're done. We change the clip like this. You guys can click on this one. So it's gonna be imported right into the composition. So here I'm not gonna be teaching you guys how to do the Twixtor and all the thing like that. I'm just gonna be focused on the tentacles. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're just gonna try to make the dead frame gonna be like, we're gonna remove the dead frame by using enable time renapping. We're gonna check the keyframes every movement, and then we're gonna add Twixtor into that. I'm already done a tutorial about this, so I don't really think that we still gonna be talking about this again. So now the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna be ignore this one. We don't need to recompose or anything else right now. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new solid layer, and actually we only need one solid layer for this kind of effect. So I'm gonna name this one particular. So when you've done this, we're gonna be looking at the reference on the animes. So on the anime, as you can see that the tentacle is kind of curved and it moving. So to do that, the first thing we're gonna do is you need to download the Red Giant Trapcode 15. That's the plugin that include particular effects. So when you've done that, you're gonna drag it into the solid layer. So also the plugin link is right down in the description for who don't have it. And here I'm just gonna be hide this clip so that you're gonna know what actually gonna be happen. So here is the default Trapcode setting. So we're gonna go to the emitter, and we're gonna change the behaviors. Let's keep it on continuous, and for the direction we're gonna change it to directional. So when you choose this one, it's gonna be moved in this one direction. It's still looking at this, but now when we change the Y rotation, it's gonna be looking at this. So here I'm not gonna be changing the Y rotation to 90. If you want to make the direction come from this side to this, you're gonna set it at 90, as well as the X rotation. This one is not really necessary, but actually we can use that later as a seed, something like that. And also the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna be move the position. Now we're gonna sew up the clip, and then we're gonna move the position right next to the back of the character that you wanted to do. So we're gonna try to color matching this later. So we're gonna set it over there, and we're gonna feed up to 100. So now the next thing that we're gonna do is to turn from this particle into the tentacle, the line, something like that. So we're gonna change the particle berserk about 10, because once you enable this kind of setting, it's gonna be multiple the particle a lot. I don't really know how to explain about this one. So now what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go to the art system master. So we're gonna turning this one on and click on continuously. So now it's gonna be make a little line like this. So I'm gonna change the emission extra to make that going a little bit further, so that we could see what actually gonna be happen over there. So go to the art system, and then we're gonna try to increase the particle until it turns into a line looking like this. It's about 100 is pretty good, by the way. And also what we're gonna do next is we're gonna change the life. So for the life actually is like, you know, the time when the particle show up, and about 3 seconds later maybe it's gonna be like fade away. So here I'm just gonna be set it at 2 seconds, so that is gonna be looking much longer just like this. So now what you're gonna do next is we're gonna go to particle. On the particle master, what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the life of the particle as well. So you're just gonna change it like, you know, its tentacle. So you need to change that that's as smart as you can. But here I'm just gonna say that at maybe 15 seconds maybe. Yeah, so here's what's gonna be happen. I'm gonna change the imagine pre-run back to 0 now, maybe just a little bit, so that you guys can see what actually gonna be happen on this. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna change the side down to 0. So when you change the side down to 0, the particle is not gonna be showing up, but it's gonna be need the art system that we just enable. So when you done this one, you're gonna be looking at the side overlap. So for the side overlap, it's gonna be depend on the plugin version. Here I'm using, I don't really remember the version of this one, but I think it's probably gonna be looking like the same. So on the preset, you can choose whatever preset you want. It's gonna be make the shape of the particle gonna be looking different. You know, if you choose this one, it's gonna be looking different, as you can see. So here I'm gonna be choose this. So when you done that, what you're gonna do next is we're gonna be looking up at physics. For the physics, you're gonna click on air, and we're gonna take a look at the turbulent field. So here is the one that we're gonna make it looking curved, you know. So before we do that, we need to make it a little bit, you know, we need to adjust this one a little bit so that it's gonna be looking more realistic and looking thicker. So we're gonna need to take a look at the art system. For the art system, what we're gonna do is for the live set here, we're gonna set this one up about 3, I guess, so that it's gonna be, you know, collect at the boy over here, and it's gonna be showing up like this. So it's looking pretty good right now actually. So now what we're gonna do next is we're gonna be making it curved. Before we do that, we're gonna change the size up a little bit. Yeah, we're just gonna change the size about 15 or 18, and we're gonna change the particle per sector about 4, and you know, you make the value half. So here the size a little bit way too big for me now, so I'm gonna be set this one maybe 10, I guess. So when you've done that, you're gonna need with a result looking at this. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep, you know, you can change whatever you want here. Actually, you can change the life up if you want to make it collect it's longer. Actually, I don't really know how to explain this one. If the life is like second, it's gonna be looking like this, or maybe 6 seconds. It's gonna be depend on the way that you want the particle looking nice. So here I'm just gonna set it at 40 for the side, and now we're gonna make this one curve before we make the color. So what we're gonna do here is on the turbulent field, we're gonna look at the affect position and affect size as well. So you need to turn on the turbulent field. Oh, I mean turn on this one, and we already done it. So we're just gonna change the affect position up. As you can see now, it's looking at a tentacle. And yeah, we're just gonna be try to adjust this whatever you guys want to make it looking nice. And also we can change the effect size, but for the effect size I'm just gonna be set it a little bit smaller, maybe 11 or 9. It's gonna be depend, or maybe because just gonna be simply set it at 0. It's no problem with that. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna be change the color of the tentacle. So to do that, we're gonna change the color on the top of the art system. It's maybe a little bit complicated, so I want to leave the preset as well. So I just gonna be, you know, paste us on the preset folder, and it's gonna be automatically set it for you guys. I really think so. So the shape is looking good now. You guys can change the shape, by the way, by using this one. As you can see, you guys can change the shape of it, but here I'm not gonna do that. So click on the color and change whatever color you want. So basically it's looking a little bit solid right now. So to make it more depth, you guys gonna click on the shading tab. right over here, setting master. Turn on the setting. And now to make this one showing up, we're gonna create two more layers. One in the light layer, the point layer with the intensities about 200 to 400. It's gonna be depend on what you want to make the tentacle looking nice. And we're gonna turn off the cast shadow as well the full up elon. Now when you click on that, it's gonna be showing up a light layer like this. So as you can see that the red now is not looking solid like before, it's looking much better now, but it's looking way too dark for now. So what we're gonna do is you can have two options and you guys can combine this one as well. So go to the light option, you guys can change this one up to make it lighter, or you guys can change the Z position of the light layer. It's still gonna be looking better. So here I'm just gonna try to move the light layer up like this, and we're just gonna be adjust this one. We want it to be like this, and that's pretty old because you know I want the rest looking pretty dark, but this one is gonna be way too dark actually. I'm gonna try to make that a little bit better. So yeah, that's pretty old that you need to know about this. So we're just gonna be move this one up like this. Maybe no, it's way too bright for me now. So yeah, maybe like this. Now what we're gonna do is making the end of the tentacle a little bit brighter. So to do that, click back on the particular, but I forgot to create a camera layer as well. So this is gonna create a new camera layer. Here I'm using 35mm preset and hit OK on the keyboards. So once you've done that, actually there's not way too much change here. So yeah, it's not way too much change, but it's gonna be nice, you know, showing up the body tuner. So yeah, so what we're gonna do next is click on the particular and we're gonna search for the setting. For the normal distance, you guys can change this one up or down. As you can see now, it's looking much brighter now. For the ambience, you guys can increase this one if you want to, or to turn it down. Here I'm just gonna set it at 49. With the diffuse is probably around 69. Yeah, 69 is looking bright over there and it's looking dark at the ends. And now what we're gonna do is we also need to make it more realistic, because as you can see at the beginning point over there, there's a lot of particular, a lot of particles stack up and it's looking a little bit solid. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna be turning on the shadow left for us. Click on, and then we're gonna search for the shadowless setting. As you can see, it's looking very dark right now, so I'm just gonna be try to, you know, setting this one up a little bit. Oh, it's looking gray now. 3D is a little bit complicated for you guys actually. So we're just gonna be back to the setting tab. For the setting, like I said, you guys can choose whatever you guys want to. And yeah, this one looking pretty good for now, as you can see. Now for the setting tab, I'm gonna be looking for the setting tab right now for the shadowless setting of the color. For the color, actually you guys can choose whatever color you guys want, but make sure that it's like dark, you know, a dark, very dark color. So here I'm just gonna be use very dark red color with the color strength maybe around 79. With the opacity it keep at 7, and the adjust distance, this one is gonna be depend on how your particle look right now. You can just decrease or increase this one so that you're gonna get the best results. So now once you done everything like this, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna be make this one like have the velocity. So to make it like start from this point and start to, you know, growing, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna be pre-compose all of these 3 layers. Control C and select the second option here, as well as the adjust composition. This one you're gonna turn this one up. So we're just gonna set the composition name to particle, and then we double click on that. So now what we're gonna do next is we're gonna be changing the duration on it. I don't really know how actually particular work, but when I change this one to maybe light 3 times more than the original composition that we're gonna be working on, and then we're just gonna be increase this one like this. We just make it move down, and then we're gonna move into the point that the particles start to growing. here I'm gonna be feed up to 100 for faster rendering. You can see we're just gonna set it at the time when it's not showing up yet. And also we're gonna change the pre-run down to 0 as well. I forgot to talk about that actually. So we're just gonna be looking at the bar that we want to. So here's the bar that the particles start to growing, and then we're just gonna be increase this, you know, drag the duration of this layer as well. So here's what we have. It's looking a little bit way too thick, so I'm just gonna be make the spread up a little bit. All right, we got the spread up here, and now what we're gonna do is back to the main composition. So on the main composition, we're gonna be turning on the layer as well, and now as you can see, it's looking not matching together. So to fix this one, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna be make a max around this one first. You just make a max, a round max, and a very big smack around, because we don't need to max anything. This lie over there. So go to click M on the keyboard and select the particle layer and change the feather up about 12, I guess. And it's looking fairer, but it's still bad. So this one way to fix this one is probably very easy, that you're gonna use the light swap like how I did on my edit. So to do that, we're gonna create a new adjustment layer and another adjustment layer, but it's gonna be depend on the scene as well. For my scene, as you can see that we have a lot of cloud here, and for the light rays, it's gonna be detect the cloud as well, making it extremely bright. So I'm gonna add a random CC. Make sure that it's gonna be a dark CC so that the cloud not gonna be way too bright. So I'm just gonna be set this adjustment layer on the pitching. It's not gonna be in a, you know, affect the particle composition. But if you want to make it as a file correction, actually you can use that as well. So I'm just gonna be choose a random. I think this one in a PSU color correction back. I don't know if someone kicked me on Discord. But yeah, we're just gonna be changing some random thing until it's looking good. Make sure that it's gonna be a dark, you know, very dark, like this. A very nice CC over there. But for the light swap, there's one more thing that I need to talk about is the point over there is pretty dark. So now I'm just gonna add night swap, so that you guys gonna know what actually gonna be happen when we add night swap into that. I mean night rays. Oh my god, I just forgot that I say the wrong shit for the whole time. Yeah, we're just gonna set it here. As you can see, it's not way too bright. So to fix this, we're just gonna be simply back to the particle layer. As you can see at the tip of the boy right over there, we're just gonna create a new adjustment layer, and then we're gonna be max around it. Yeah, just max around it this, turn the max fader up, and then we're just gonna add curve into that. The reason for this is we make the boy at the beginning here is much brighter, so that the light ray is gonna be looking brighter, and we don't need to do way too much of the color matching or compositing later. So we're just gonna set it like this, put a curve into that, and making it brighter, like a lot brighter actually. Because don't worry about this, like, no one gonna be see this like little fucking white thing here. So we're just gonna be make it brighter as well. You can use brightness and contrast, but don't way too bright or it's gonna be looking suck at fuck. So yeah, it's gonna be like this. And when we're gonna back to the main composition, as you can see now, it brightening. So to do this one, actually you need to change the intensity a little bit, and the warp outlet down a bit, and for the radius we're gonna set this one up. So yeah, it's looking bad because actually this is a tutorial. I don't have time to actually explain everything. But when you're done this one, what we're gonna do next is on the particle, right click, time, enable time renapping. Now we're gonna renapping the time, so that you wanna to make it faster or slower. It's gonna be depend on this one. But yeah, just make it bigger like this, and yeah, we're gonna turn the mask up like this. So yeah, like on the edit, I'm just gonna make it a little bit longer like this, and then we just gonna hit apply on the keyboard, select two of this one, and we're gonna change the speed by you doing that. Just change this one to quarter by the way, and then we're just gonna be like this, maybe like this, fast at the beginning, slower at the end. And that's pretty all how to make the tentacle in using particular. In the future, I'm gonna make more tutorial about this kind of animation thing, but with shape layer, and it's gonna be more detail. So yeah, that's pretty all about this tutorial today.